Hello YouTube, my name is Alston and I help beginning bloggers with passive income, affiliate marketing, and starting their blog off on the right foot. Today I want to provide to you 11 hacks that you can apply to your blogging to get started on the right foot. Before we get started, make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the bell notification if this video or any other video on this channel has helped you in any way. Alright, so 11 blogging hacks that you can use or you can apply to take your blogging to the next level. And again, this is primarily for beginning bloggers, but veteran bloggers or old bloggers can find success too. Number 1, use dictation software. If you have a long commute, if you work long hours, if you aren't able to physically type, use dictation software like Google Docs has a dictation. There are different types of dictation software that you can purchase. Even in some smartphones, you can actually dictate to a notepad. But if you can't physically be at a computer, laptop, or if you can't blog from your smartphone, use dictation software to help you make notes, to formulate an outline, to do everything that you can do to help you become more efficient with your time when you do have time to access a computer. So that's number 1, use dictation software. Number 2, use an outline. One of the challenges that I'm seeing fellow bloggers have is that they don't know what to write. That oftentimes comes from poor planning, not thinking through their content. Maybe they found a keyword and they just want to get going. If you make an outline, and this sounds really basic, but if you make an outline, it'll be much easier for you to write faster and to get your content up. Just think about it like this. Your outline is as simple as the title can be obviously the title, and then each bullet point can be your headings and your subheadings. Doing that will help you just fill in your missing information, and it'll help get your word count. Also, it'll make your writing much faster. So if you've never done that before, check out some of the tools that are online with creating an outline, but definitely create an outline to make your writing much faster. So that was number 2, use an outline. Number 3, use the Google suite of free, we'll call them word equivalent software. So Google has Google Docs, they have Google Sheets, they have a PowerPoint equivalent, but I definitely recommend you using this software because it's an online software. You can use it anywhere that has the internet connection. It syncs with your phone, it syncs with your laptop, your desktop. If you have a work computer, it syncs with that as well. And that's great for making notes for yourself. That's great for if you find a keyword or if you have this great idea. Not only can you use it for dictation, you can also make these notes. I have probably 4 or 5 different Google Sheets that are out there with tons of information, things that I'm thinking about, blog ideas, and so on. But if you use the Google suite of word equivalent software, it should definitely help you with your blogging down the road. It'll help with some of those other things that I mentioned. So definitely use the Google suite if possible. Number 4, listen to podcasts and or read blogs that are in your niche. The reason why you want to do that is so that you can actually generate ideas, different ideas about your niche, where to take it, different topics to write on. It'll also help you find gaps in the niche that you're working in. For example, let's say you're in the speaker niche. I've got a speaker here, so we'll go with that. You may find that people are talking about speakers at a very high level, when in reality, most consumers are looking for basic information or basic low-level information. That could be your way in. Or you may find that the market's very saturated and you might want to pivot to something else. But you definitely don't want to become a silo. You want to consume the content so that you can actually contribute to the internet, and you can find holes in the market. And like I said, you can also find where your niche is going. So definitely listen to podcasts and read blog posts in your niche. Number 5, outsource writing. The reason why you want to do that is there are a few reasons, honestly. The more content you have up, the more quality content you have up on your site, the higher chances for success. If you write everything yourself, and you can, obviously it'll take longer. But if you find someone that you know, like, and trust, and they provide quality work, and you're doing work, you can actually you can upscale your blog post and your business. You can scale it much quicker. Also, you can get a feel for how other people are writing regarding your niche. You want to review that content. You definitely want to make edits as needed, but it's also good to see how other people are approaching it. You may be approaching your niche or your topics that you found. You may be approaching it from an expert level, whereas it really needs a very basic or foundational writing style. So definitely outsource some writing. Obviously, it might not be possible if you are just starting out and you have limited funds, but if you can, definitely look at outsourcing some of the writing. Number 6, make YouTube videos. YouTube is the second largest search engine, and so making YouTube videos in your niche and then pointing them back to your website can help you grow your channel. In reality, you want to use social media in general to help point things back to your website, but using YouTube specifically can scale your business much faster. For example, let's say you create a blog post on recommended products. You then may want to create a YouTube video on recommended products and then point it back to your website. The same holds true for a niche. Let's say you're doing speakers again. You may want to do a few YouTube videos around a specific type of speakers, and then just make sure that you are always pointing them back for more information on all things speakers. Go back to my website. And so again, people will have a greater opportunity to find you. There are different ways to record YouTube videos, even if you do not have, if you're camera shy. Actually, one of the products that I have in this product recommendations page, you can do a complete video without ever showing your face. So that's another option as well. The next one I have is play the long game. Now, basically what I mean by this is when you're blogging, it's going to take time for you to find some success. The Income School Project 24 guys, they say that your blog post won't reach the highest level. It won't plateau for 9 months. So you have to go in expecting or anticipating that you are not going to be, or most likely you're not going to become a millionaire or a thousandaire or make a ton of money from your blog posts right away. One way to help boost or help accelerate that is using other mediums such as YouTube or different types of social media. But just know that if you're blogging, it's going to take a while, and that's fine. Basically, what the search engines are doing is they're comparing your content versus the content that's already there. And so as long as you're writing good quality content and you're confident in your work, just know that eventually you will find some success. You may not find success or long-term success for 2 years, but you just have to keep plugging away and find little successes in order to contribute to that overall long-term success. And maybe that's another hack, is you need to look for short-term goals. One thing that the Income Score and Project 24 have been really good at is creating short-term benchmarks for you to measure yourself on, so that you can find those little successes. If you don't do that, if you don't find the little successes, organic search or people buying a product here and there, you're going to probably quit. You're going to give up and you're going to say this is too hard. But if you check out this link here, the Income School Project 24 link, that's one of the things that they talk about. They talk about the short-term successes that you should look for, which help determine if your blog or your website's doing well. So make sure you play the long game. Next, you want to create a writing schedule. Ideally, you starting out, you probably want to write 4 times a week. It's very important in the beginning to get content out there, but you don't want to get so much content out that you get burnt out quickly. I actually made this mistake. I got up about 75,000 words in 45 days. And by, I would say, 60,000 words, I was completely burnt out and I wanted to quit. So you want to make sure that you're writing content, but you're pacing yourself so that you have the same energy and same success at the end that you do at the beginning. So make sure that you create a writing schedule. In the beginning, you want to get up some content probably 4 times a week. As you have more blog posts, you might want to scale that back to 2 or 3 times a week. It really all depends on your niche, what your writing options. So definitely consider creating a schedule and sticking to that schedule. Next, you want to talk about your blog. You want to talk about your blog to anyone that will listen. Talk about it offline. Talk about it to your friends, your family. They're a great source of information. because again, maybe you're too close to the niche where someone will ask a basic question that you haven't considered or thought of. So if you're just having general conversation, mention, hey, I'm writing a blog on speakers, and they will for sure come up with one or two questions that you have not thought of. So definitely talk to your friends and family. It's also a good release because, quite honestly, if you're writing, especially if you're writing by yourself, it can be a quite lonely experience. It's very individual. For the most part, if you're doing blog posts, you're writing by yourself. So definitely talk it over with friends and family. They'll give you a couple of ideas for research. Maybe they'll even help you pivot your website or your niche. So that's another one. Talk about it with friends and family. Next, and one that I think people overlook all the time, is when you're writing for your blog, when you're writing within a blog post, when you approach your website, use the 5 W's. Use who, what, when, where, why, and how when you are creating content. So you want to think about who's your audience, what do they want to know, where can they find this information, where are you finding this information, why is this information important, and how to get this information, or how they should expect it. When you write with the 5 W's, usually you're answering all of the basic questions that someone may have on a topic. So for example, let's say with this speaker, let's say with this stick of gum, and you are writing a topic on the length of this gum. So you might want to say, Your original question could be, what is the length of the gum? Then you want to approach it, who, what, when, where, why, how. We already know what the what is. Why is the length of gum important? How has the length of gum changed over time? What are the dimensions of the gum? So you just really want to approach your blog post in this manner so that you can answer every question. It also help you stay on topic. So think about it. Whenever you're writing a blog post, you found your keyword, you found your topic, always do a quick who, what, when, where, why, how check to make sure you have all of your bases covered. So once again, with this gum, what are the dimensions? Who came up with these dimensions? How long have these dimensions been around? When have the dimensions changed? Are the dimensions standard across all sticks of gum? These are different questions that you can ask to help you stay on topic with your blog post. So 5 W's and 1 8. The next one is, and this is going to sound very negative, but you're probably overthinking it. One thing when you start off with something new and when you're anticipating making passive income from it, it's very, very easy to overthink every aspect of it. Sometimes it's just easy to sit down and write, or sit down and type, submit, and walk away. If you spend time overthinking it, you will spend too much time poring over content and not enough time creating new content. So stop overthinking your blog posts. Write them, read them over once. Don't read them over more than twice, because for every minute you're spending poring over that one post could be a minute that you're spending not contributing or not creating a YouTube video or a Pinterest pin or doing those other things that you want to do to get your blog to take off. So stop overthinking it when it comes to the post. Obviously there are caveats to that, but in general, a lot of people, especially when starting off, they are spending too much time thinking about a post. And that even goes true for domain names. They want to pick the perfect domain name, when in reality, that's not that big of a deal as long as it's in the general vicinity. Think about some of the biggest domain names out there. They really don't have a great correlation to the products and services that they're selling. So stop overthinking it, because you're probably overthinking. The next one I have is make the blog reflect your personality. And this is important, especially early on, because if your blog is something or someone that you're not, it'll be very easy for your audience to see that. If you are trying to be funny or trying to be witty and you're not normally funny or witty, don't try and be funny or witty in these blog posts, because as I mentioned, readers will see right through that, and you won't come off as authentic. People will not come to your site. If you are a dry person and you picked a dry topic, it's okay to be dry as long as you are true to who you are, who you have always been. That is the most important part when you're creating a blog. You do obviously want to add in some brevity occasionally, but if you're not the witty person, don't try and be witty in your blog. It's just not going to work. The next one, and this is a huge one, you want to keep creating content until you succeed. And again, succeeding can be anything. It can be getting to 100 organic views. It can be making $100. Because once you have made the success that you've defined for yourself, that'll give you the energy to keep creating content. One of the overriding issues with blogs and bloggers and content creators in general is they give up too soon. They could be right at the doorstep of success, but then they wind up saying, I'm never going to succeed. So what I recommend is that you keep creating content until you succeed. Final one that I have for you is take it offline. And basically what I mean by that is don't spend every waking moment worrying about this blog. Take some downtime for yourself. One of the mistakes that I made, I mentioned this early on, was I wound up writing 75,000 words in like 45 days, and I got completely burned out. You want to make sure that you are taking at least one day and not doing any writing. You may want to do a little bit of research, but it's okay if you don't write every single day. As long as you're doing something for your blog, I would say every day, maybe taking one day off at most, that's fine. This is beginner information or beginner suggestions. As you become more veteran or as you become older with the writing or the blog post, you'll find out what's right for you. You'll know that you may need to take off every other day when it comes to creating content. But when you're starting off, and this is most important because you're excited, you see the millions of dollars that are going to come from creating this blog, you still want to take at least one day a week for yourself where you're not writing. So take it offline from time to time. The blog will still be there. The traffic will still be there. Your health, your well-being is just as important. So those were my 11 hacks for new bloggers. Before I let you go, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification if this video or any other video that I've created has helped you out in any way. Also check out some of the links in the description. I have provided a link to Income School /Project 24. Project 24 is a course for beginners that walks you through getting started blogging. They really hold your hands through the entire process. They tell you about logo creation, how much to write, how frequently to write. They really go in depth when it comes to helping you find success blogging. The 24 and the Project 24 means you could replace your full-time income in 24 months through blogging. Obviously, no business venture, and this is what this says, no business venture is guaranteed. But if you follow those steps, you have a real opportunity to replace your full-time income. Once again, this is Alston providing you blogging hacks. Once again, make sure you like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.